It's a beautiful but crispy morning in the nation's capital. And ex-Cap Mike Ribeiro leads the Predators in scoring. And down the hallway, the league's leading goal scorer, Alex Ovechkin. Yes, it's a good morning matchup. Preds and Capitals next on Fox Sports Tennessee. Coming your way from the Verizon Center in the Chinatown District or the nation's capital, it's the Predators and Washington Capitals here this afternoon. Brought to you by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers as the fans make their way for this early start in the Verizon Center. And there is a look for you at the Western Conference playoff picture and where the Predators are situated atop their division, 1 point back of first overall in the West.
Keep your eyes on another matchup tonight. We'll have updates for you. St. Louis, Columbus, key matchup affecting the Predators here tonight. Again, 1 point above St. Louis, Western Conference standings.
Last time we joined you, we were in Tampa at the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's take a look at the highlights from that matchup, which the Predators took by a goal.
Ribeiro gets the scoring started. Here's how it all develops. Turnover here. Ribeiro jumps all over it. Turns over from him, but it's Forsberg recovers, and then right here, watch Roman Josi. He spots Ribeiro down in front of the Tampa Bay net. Quick little release by Josi, recognizing he's got an open shooting lane, and finds Ribeiro. Ribeiro with a cute little redirect, gets it in behind Ben Bishop to open the scoring for Nashville. 1-0 at that point. Outlet pass. Gaustad out to Beck, and then Gaustad continues hard to the net, to the hard post, and knocks down that Beck rebound in behind Bishop. And here's the 3-1 goal. This holds up as your game winner. Santorelli with a terrific play from behind the net. Follows up on his own rebound. Leak, a little forehand shot in between the pad of Ben Bishop and the post. 3-1 at that point.
And the outstanding performance by Pekka Rinne in that game.
Rinne was super sharp. He was called upon frequently, and especially with the game on the line, third period action, made a number of game-breaking saves. He was stellar yet again.
Roster moves for the Predators heading into this one. As a matter of fact, a repeat, if you will. Kevin Fiala, who was on emergency recall, now with players getting healthy, has been sent back to Milwaukee this morning. But one of probably a little bit more impact you'll see right now. Captain Shea Weber is not in the lineup this afternoon, out with a lower body injury.
Good news on the forward front. For that reason, Fiala's reassigned. Not so good news on the back end. Shea Weber, again, there we've got him listed day-to-day, lower body injury. And this new news, Volchenkov will go in Shea Weber's place. Volchenkov, injury and healthy Straths. That combination, he's been out for the last 20 games, so he's reinserted back into the mix and will probably play a third pairing role alongside perhaps a Jones. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Stay tuned on that one. Now, when you talk about the Washington Capitals, you begin your conversation with number 8, Alex Ovechkin. And for very good reason. That's how effective he has been since coming here.
This is a guy that just plays with a whole lot of zest for the game. He plays hard, terrific shot. He loves to shoot 360 shots on the year, and that is head and shoulders above the competition. And for that reason, leading the NHL in goals, 47, 7 over the competition.
So there are so many variables heading into this game this afternoon. I think it's just most advisable. Sit back and take some notes on this one.
Time will sort it all out, and we'll bring it to you as time resolves it.
So all coming up from the Verizon Center in Washington. Predators and the Washington Capitals, the first of a back-to-back for both sides. Predators home tomorrow against Calgary, and tickets are available for that.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Nashville. By Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Fifth Third Bank. Stop by Fifth Third Bank to learn how you can be the seventh man. Fifth Third Bank. Member FDIC. And by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt.
From the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C., Predators and the Washington Capitals this afternoon. And here are the Toyota starting goaltenders.
In nets for the host Washington Capitals, 36-19-9 is Braden Holtby. His last time out, he stopped 29 of 31 shots in a 3-2 overtime win versus the New Jersey Devils. That was March 26th. And for Pecorino, he had action just a couple of nights ago, stopping 28 of 30 shots in a 3-2-1 at Tampa Bay Lightning. And we showed you highlights from that one. Pekka was solid. That's Thursday's competition. Pekka gets the start here again tonight, posting a 40-15-4 record on the year.
Mike Fisher will start out. Colin Wilson on his left. Victor Stahlberg on his right. The opening defense combination, Roman Josi and Seth Jones with Shea Weber out here this afternoon. And we are underway as the puck has been dropped in D.C. Holtby with Stahlberg running into him. Stahlberg falling down, and then a shot by Fisher, gloved down by Holtby, who somewhat disgustedly looks over his shoulder in that general direction of Stahlberg. Our 4 keys to the game.
4 keys to the game tonight. We'll draw out the old NHL Tri-Code acronym. WSH for Washington. Work for 60, 65 minutes if that's what it takes. Shot attempts. Got to get the shot at the net. Braden Holtby himself is having a solid year, and this is a heavy team. You've got to hit or be hit. Be prepared to play your game through a physical opponent, the Washington Capitals.
Breaking in, that shot gloved down right away by Pecorino and Johansson.
Terrific play by Matty Ekholm to jump down deep. He collapses down to the blue paint, swallows up that rebound, and transitions back the other way for Nashville.
From back of the net, Cody Franson with the puck over to Ekholm. Jarnkrok breaking ahead. Santorelli trying to get after it down there in the right wing corner. Arvidsson was waiting in the slot. Arvidsson proceeds to get involved in the scrap for the puck. Jarnkrok in front, and the puck just deflected wide to Holtby's left. And Arvidsson steals the puck away from Alex Ovechkin, and that shot is held by Braden Holtby.
Like the play by Arvidsson off the far wall. Great job filtering it towards the Washington net. Bad angle chance, but you don't mind those at all. There's lots of bodies in front. You're putting the pressure on Braden Holtby. Netminder, starting netminder for the Washington Capitals to make that save. Tough for a goaltender to square up. Bad bounces are frequent in a play like that.
On the face-off, Brooks Orpik for the Capitals. The left side. White couldn't quite get to it. Reverse to the Predators' right. A little bit of a surprise there. Joel Ward, the ex-Predator, is on now for Washington. Eric Bear in the middle. Turned over on the left side. White reverses, and coming over is Mike Ribeiro. Ribeiro with Forsberg and Smith. Anton Volchenkov, his first action in a while, as the puck deflected in off Smith. Fed back up through center, where it is picked off and sent back by Gabriel Bourque. Carried in by Seth Jones. Jones trying to set it up in front for Bourque. Bounces back to Jones. Doubles into the trapezoid. Bourque had cross paths there with Gaustad. Gaustad trying to get free of Matt Niskanen. Niskanen and Orpik out there together. Real heavy work down there. Talk about a heavy game. Ex-Pred Michael Lotta got it free. Here's Chimera. Chimera to the front of the net and crashing the net there as the puck goes wide into the corner.
Great play by Chimera from the outside. He's got pressure from the inside thrown toward the net. I believe that's Glenncross going hard to the net, just out of the reach of Glenncross. Otherwise, that's a tap in behind Pecorino.
Fed back into the Nashville zone. Ekholm takes it behind the net. Alsner on with Green. Tipped by Fisher. Comes right in front, and a backhander. Holtby was able to smother the shot. Right in front of the net was Colin Wilson, and Holt be able to get on top of it. Brouwer around Kuznetsov. Taken back by Fisher. Down the boards to the corner. Green on the wall for Brouwer. And looking up from inside the line, passing that puck out. Tim Gleason, the former Carolina Hurricane, as Green's shot is held by Pekka Rinne with 3:43 gone.
That'll give us an opportunity to look at that Fisher play into Colin Wilson. Great job by Fisher. Stops, keeps the battle close, and then a great play by him as he wins the battle to get it towards the front of the net. You see there Wilson with the chance. And here a shot from the outside. That's Chimera filtering it in to Glenncross, going hard to the inside post. Again, just out of the reach of number 22, Curtis Glenncross. 10 games, a Washington Capital, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points in that span of time. He's been a welcome addition.
And that puck played away by Pekka Rinne. Wide of Gaustad, and this will be the icing against Nashville as Orpik got back. So with Shea Weber out, this is the way the game has begun for Nashville on defense.
We speculated that Roman Josi might see Seth Jones as a defense partner. Seth Jones, right-hander, will slip up into that spot where Shea Weber would typically play. Franson moves up alongside of Ekholm, and then Volchenkov reinserted. He'll play alongside Ellis.
Gaustad took that draw from Nicholas Backstrom, but it comes right over to Ovechkin, and this time from the right side. Hey, the puck was there, he shot it.
He has a preference, but he's not choosy in that respect.
No.
He'll fire from there as well.
Off the boards and to the right wing side for Seth Jones. Nudged out, and Josi will carry in versus Orpik. Holds up against the wall as the Predators change their forward combination. Niskanen backhanded that away from Santorelli. Jarnkrok tried to find Arvidsson. Out it comes now for Wilson. Wilson lofts it in. He and Volchenkov will meet. You knew that would be a raucous meeting, didn't you? Passed across in front of the net to Volchenkov. Around Chimera. And deflected in as Green was given warning that coming there right behind him is Jarnkrok, and that try from the right board is tipped up over the Washington glass.
Mike Santorelli, big game last time out. Game-winning goal versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. His first goal in regulation since coming back to Nashville's second tour of duty, acquired from the Toronto Maple Leafs pre-deadline. Again, I've liked his pace of play. I've liked the way Mike works. He's generating chances, and then finally something to show statistically coming out of competition versus the East, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Puck came right toward the net there. Orpik, as it's picked up by John Carlson. And the puck deflects over toward Ribeiro. Sending in Smith. Wound onto the board for Joel Ward. Could not clear. Had a shot from the tough angle. Here's a rebound and put right back on net by Ellis with a struggle toward the side of the net involving Orpik and Craig Smith. Let's get to our Vanderbilt injuries and scratches here this afternoon. For the Predators, if you're just joining us, Shea Weber out day-to-day with a lower body injury. Matt Cullen, James Neal, Eric Nystrom, and Victor Bartley. Washington has John Erskine on injured reserve, and Jay Beagle is the coach's decision this afternoon. Face off to the left of Braden Holtby. Shots by for Nashville. Ekholm with the try. Stick to side of the corner. Stahlberg shovels that. And off the boards it comes back to center ice. Stood up at the line there, Marcus Johansson. And there's going to be a penalty. Referees this afternoon, Kyle Raymond and Eric Furlat.
Cody Franson a little bewildered that it's he.
Eric Furlat making the call. at 5:48.
Here's Franson standing up at the blue line. You see there, he gets the hands high on Johansson. Draws the minor penalty. You like his gap control. You like that he's fronting the opposition forward at your blue.
So here you have the top power play in the league out there now for the Capitals. As typically arranged on that shot from the slot, taken by Brouwer, and the rebound cleared down ice. Johansson, who drew the penalty, Brouwer and Ovechkin, at least in title, lined up front. Backstrom goes to a point. And the puck gunned in and back to pick up John Carlson. Predators now with their second penalty-killing pair out. That goes low. And Ovechkin, a backhander came right across. Spinning was Johansson, and he fired it up and out of play.
Good play by Fischer. He actually knocks this down. It's a diagonal passing play. Ovechkin across, intended for Johansson. Fischer knocks it down, and then it leaks into Johansson. He jumps all over, but a great recovery by Mattias Ekholm on the kill. He goes stick on stick with Johansson, and up into the net it goes behind Pecorine.
So the change up front for the Capitals. Ovechkin at the left point, John Carlson at the right. Joel Ward takes the spot in the faceoff of Michael Rada. Yarncroke puts the stick down. Capitals get the draw, but it rolls back through center.
Key draw, one back by Fischer. You see the importance of those, especially at the man disadvantage, chewing up precious seconds.
All Kuznetsov slipping through, going to draw another penalty. Hooking is going to be the call. Fred's disbelieving of it, but that's the call.
It looks like Matty Ekholm is going to draw the additional minor. You see there, he's faced with Kuznetsov as Kuznetsov is knifing his way into Nashville territory.
So 55 seconds of 5-on-3.
The opportunity for the Washington Capitals. Carlson back at the bench collecting a different stick. Is that his 5-on-3 stick, perhaps?
Well, we're such a specialized society now. Played back to Ovechkin. Carlson. Brouwer's in the slot. Backdoor is Ward. Ward couldn't fire right away, and then that one is trapped under the left pad of Pecorine.
Great play by Rinne. Gosh, he does a great job fronting Joel Ward, former Predator Joel Ward. Watch the pass through. Great play by Backstrom. Look at Rinne. Traps it under the left pad. He just juts it out, traps it under the left pad. Key in all this is no additional opportunity. You see there the net front presence, red jerseys abound for Washington. Rinne shuts it down.
Two men to the front of the net, and that shot by Ovechkin deflects away from them. And then it bounces away from Carlson back out to center. A break for the Predators there. 25 seconds remaining in the two-man. Fed down the right side. Carlson. Ovechkin was ready, but his shooting lane covered by Jones. Brouwer is in front again. And Carlson's shot blocked. Getting a stick on that was Gaustad. Josi could not control it. Carlson misses the net. Ovechkin to keep in. A man out of the box now for Nashville as the shot goes wide. Capitals on the first part of that, one shot on goal. Carlson to Ovechkin, and that one bounced up off the chest of Rinne. Franson tried to clear it.
Looked like Franson may have got a piece of that on its way back to the net as well.
Ward goes to the front. Carlson shot, and Ward couldn't get to a rebound. Pecorine didn't allow that.
Watch the job Paul Gostad does here. Play transitions back, puts his body on the line, opens up, catches it on the inside right thigh. Just a terrific block. Paul Gostad. Saw Matty Ekholm earlier action. Big block on the penalty kill as well.
On the face-off win, Capitals pursue to the corner, but now they'll be able to clear it as Bourque sends it down length of the ice. 30 seconds remaining. A 5-on-4 for Washington. Puck stolen away by Fisher, coming through Bourque, and then poke checked away from him as it rolled. Holtby got his goalie stick on it. Down the boards ahead of Bourque. 10 seconds remaining. Still nothing here. We approach 11 minutes remaining in the first. Look down the right side by Niskanen. Volchenkov got the puck back, and it's stolen away. Down the left wing side, Ekholm on his backhand, he scores! Mattias Ekholm with a backhander. The Predators take a 1-0 lead at 9:02 of the first.
What a terrific individual play by Mattias Ekholm. Watch there, turns over at the offensive blue, grabs it, builds a wall on his backhand, and then a great backhand shot. Watch the space, halfway up the net, above the pad, below the glove. Braden Holtby just simply beats him to the short side, does Matty Ekholm, to get the scoring started here. 7th of the year, 8th career goal for Mattias Ekholm. Outstanding. Not that dissimilar to his outing versus Montreal, where he opened the scoring there.
Though on that one, had he missed, we do believe by looking at the video, he's going to get a penalty shot. That's the way the arm is outstretched by the referee here. As we have a stoppage of play and offside, 9:19 gone in the first. And there's going to be a Predators power play when we return. Nashville leading 1-0. Mattias Ekholm has the Predators in front 1-0, an even strength goal just after a lengthy penalty kill. And here it is.
There's the minor penalty to Washington as we go to break. Battle for a loose puck on the wall. That's Brooks Laich, Seth Jones for the Nashville Predators. Brooks Laich gets his stick into the skates of Jones, upends him in the process. He'll sit for the 2. Unless Nashville's able to accomplish otherwise.
Seth Jones walking, shooting. It was blocked. Picked up by Smith as he spins and fires it wide. Brouwer is out up front with Backstrom as a penalty killing forward. Smith tried to pin him in. The Capitals are able to free it up.
Like the intensity of Nashville right off the draw, Pete. Terrific job. One back. Seth Jones with a quick shot, and then right after that, Smith throws the block shot right back at the net, just misses wide.
Wilson with a try, deflected high up in front, and then cleared down ice. Needing a piece of that to clear that down was Fair. Fair and Chimera, the penalty killing forwards. Now Fair going to the bench for a change. Just over a minute remaining in the man advantage. The Tennessee Lottery power play for the Predators. Cleared back by Chimera.
Preds looking a little unorganized through neutral ice. Thrown over to Taylor Beck. He gets jammed up. Loses a battle for a loose puck. Washington sends Nashville all the way back.
Goes wide of Taylor Beck. Branson to keep in the quick shot down low. Forsberg. Beck. Up front for Nashville.
Beck gets hit with that puck. It's actually a clear and inadvertently hits Beck. He's hobbled up. You can see him there. Getting back to the bench. They'll come off in favor of Gabby Bourque. Bourque will do the heavy lifting down front of the Washington net on the extra man.
15 seconds left in this advantage. Puck slipping on Josi there just a bit. Fisher in the corner, kicked away. Joel Ward comes up. Couldn't quite get to it. Popped up in the air. Penalty about to expire. Comes back for Franson, flipping a quick shot. As Alzner lost his stick, power play is over. Forsberg, quick shot off the chest of Holtby. Rebound try, Fisher slides it home, and the Predators take a 2-0 lead on what will officially be an even strength goal. So the Predators, similar to the game in Tampa the other night.
Watch the play Cody Franson makes here. Terrific job. Throws that puck to the net, and then watch here. He pinches down. Forsberg will ultimately grab it. One bid by Forsberg, and then it's Fisher with the follow-up chance from a little further out. Holtby can't spot it until too late. It's through his legs.
So the Predators lead 2-0. They outshot the Capitals 11-8, but didn't get any shots on goal on that power play. Bourque tried to slip one through for Jones, a little give and go from the line. Green gets the puck over to Gleason. Victor Stahlberg sees that Bourque was changing, throws the puck shallow in the zone. Alex Ovechkin holds up. His shot deflected wide off Jones. They try to center it. Nick Backstrom comes over. Coming out with his Wilson. And Ovechkin changes direction on the left side wall. And still manages to maintain possession for a bit. Then it's jabbed away from Wilson. Franson onto the board and turning toward it is Santorelli. The puck comes back yet again. Wilson got shoveled back. But Wilson isn't going to be one to embellish anything right now. Kuznetsov tried to step straight into the zone with the puck.
Wilson finishes on Jones just before the end of his shift. A little message sending, perhaps. Washington trailing by a score of 2-0.
Orpik lobs it in soft to the inboard of the corner. Ekholm, first drive was blocked. So Fisher from Forsberg and Bourque, the Predators' second goal at 11:29. Little zig when they were zagging, and the puck is turned back over at center. Tapped out of there by Orpik. Taken away from Johansson. Brouwer couldn't make a play. Lobbed in by Ellis. Onto the right board, Johansson. And Brouwer will dump it behind the Nashville goal. Slowed down a little bit by Pecorino. 2-0 Nashville. Ekholm and Fisher. On the wall. Taken back as Stahlberg tried to get the stick down. White put it behind the Nashville goal. Cody Franson for Fisher. Fisher tried to drop it back. Ward anticipated that, stole it. Here's Fair with a try, knocked down in front, off the glove of Pecorino. Stahlberg comes out, chips in. To the left wing corner. On the wall, Colin Wilson. Comes back to Wilson. His shot just deflected wide of Holtby. To the point, Mike Fisher is there currently. Josi returns to Fisher. Seth Jones right side the shot. It got through, but the rebound is corralled by Holtby. So a little surprised goaltender there, but he was happy he was squared up to it. 5:36 to go in the first. 2-0 Nashville.
Welcome back to Washington, where the Preds are leading the Capitals 2-0, and now I'm down here on the bench with Mattias Ekholm. Mattias got the first goal here today. The last 3 games that you guys have won, you've scored first. How much easier does it make the rest of the game to get on the board first?
It's huge. I mean, eventually on the road too, it's even better. I mean, they will come out hard every game. They want to do that at home, and when we can get the first, we get some momentum, and we can use the puck more. They sit back a little bit, and we get going.
Thanks so much, Mattias.
Thank you.
So a little work being done down in the corner of the Capital zone.
That'll give us an opportunity to talk hot ticket time, which is exactly the time it is. It's presented by Hutt Brothers Pizza. Fans in celebration of hitting the 100-point mark for the 2014-15 campaign, you can purchase a pair of lower bowl tickets for tomorrow's game against the Calgary Flames for just $100. Remember, it's a special 4 p.m. start time. To order, call 615-770-7800 or or visit NashvillePredators.com/hot ticket time. This offer is good through the end of today's game, so order now.
So still trying to get that replacement piece put into that glass support in the corner. And evidently they're satisfied that all is well. Remain calm.
Mike Ribeiro back into familiar confines. He's a Washington Capital of a lockout-shortened season, 2012-13. Played all 48 games that year and was a point-a-game player. 49 points in 48 games played. A productive year for the center while in a Caps jersey.
Got through back to the Nashville zone, and Ribeiro scoops it out. Knocked down. Alex Ovechkin. Wheeling over to the right side. Ribeiro stops and sends in Philip Forsberg. Forsberg with the shot. He scores! He was breaking in 1-on-3, and he scores from the left side to make it 3-0 at 14:47. Folks, you know you want to be at Bridgestone Arena tomorrow to see these Predators going against the Washington Capitals.
Well, that's the twisted wrister in all its glory. Oh my gosh, you know it's coming. You know he loves to shoot from that spot. But Pete, I'm saying to myself, okay, not from there, not against Braden Holtby, just below the tops of the circles from well outside. And he beats Braden Holtby over the glove to the top corner of the net. And that will effectively end the night for Braden Holtby. Peters will come in and exchange, and you can see there the look on the face of Braden Holtby. Yep.
So 14:47 for Holtby this afternoon. 3 goals against on 13 shots.
And with that, 23 on the year for Philip Forsberg. Moves into a tie with teammate Craig Smith for the goals lead Nashville.
So the Predators up 3-0. This is a Capitals team, though, that can be very explosive. Chimera try to knock it down on the right side. Get back for Ekholm, who had to absorb the big hit there. Poked up on the wall and taken out by Arvidsson. Arvidsson with a shot. Blocked out of play. Way up and out of here. So Justin Peters, the ex-Carolina Hurricane netminder, into the fray now for the Capitals.
Assist number 1 to number 57, Gabriel Bort. And assist number 2 to number 20.
Take another look at that Forsberg goal. You're going to see Forsberg drift around. Stop it right there, guys. See the great job he does. Jumping down underneath to support that puck battle. And then there you get it. The outside off-wing shot. All kinds of velocity. So well placed. That's a big league snapper.
Green in the corner. His stick held up underneath, I believe, the arm of his teammate as well, as the Predators forward. Down the right side, Green tried to center for Kuznetsov and poked away there by Pekka Rinne. Kuznetsov going to the right board. Into the corner. Johnson bounces up. Ribeiro getting an assist on the goal by Forsberg. Forsberg's 23rd of the year. So Forsberg, a goal and an assist. And we will have the icing here against Nashville. Not the start the Capitals were looking for, to be certain.
No, not by a long sight. Great release, Philip Forsberg. Again, tops of the circles. That's well out. An NHL goaltender just simply has to have that one. Unless it's redirected, it looked pretty clear to me that one is just Philip versus Holtby.
Icing again on Nashville. 16-12 now gone in the first. Join us back at Smashville tomorrow afternoon for a matchup against the Calgary Flames. 2 important points on the line in the Western Conference race. All fans there receive a Seth Jones bobblehead presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's a special 4 p.m. puck drop. Please note that at Bridgestone Arena. For tickets, go to NashvillePredators.com. Or go to 615-770-7800. Chip out of the Nashville end. Backstrom. So you got the two wingers up wide at center. Predators respond by dumping into the Capital zone again. Around the wall for Wilson, and it deflects over for Backstrom. Orpik to his left. Carlson snapping his shot well off the target. Wilson follows up right in front of Ovechkin, and that one taken away from that dangerous territory right around Pekka Rinne.
Smart shot by Wilson, recognizing he's got number 8 at the front of the net. Ovechkin is frozen out. Nashville does a great job of.
Ribeiro tried to center. Keeping the puck in play is Forsberg. Ribeiro sends it wide, and now Ekholm's shot hit the outside of the net. Fed back for Ekholm. Franson's shot deflected not just once but twice. Chipped off the boards and sent into the Nashville zone where Cody Franson retrieves. And if you're wondering where is number 6, Shea Weber is out day to day with a lower body injury. Predators captain missing this game. This rolls back to the Capitals line. Matt Niskanen challenged at the blue line by Santorelli. 2 minutes remaining in the first. Ekholm rips it into the zone. Range bounce behind Justin Peters. Peters has taken over for Holtby. Gone here after 14 minutes, 47 seconds. Volchenkov. Santorelli backhands it in. Niskanen. Hear the teammate calling to him for the puck. And backhanded into the Capital zone again. 90 seconds remains in the first period. Sent in off the glove hand there of Volchenkov and held by Pekka Rinne with 83 seconds remaining. So the Predators with a 3-0 lead here in the first period. They have chased the Capitals starting goaltender.
Until the spring of 2014, Barry Trotz was the only coach that Nashville had ever known. Won 557 games over the course of his 15 seasons as the Preds head coach. He is 4-1-0 over his last 5, and Coach Peter Laviolette succeeded Barry Trotz. He's in his first season year to date. 46-21-8 are the Preds.
On the face-off, almost diving on top of the puck there, Gosted against Lada, and the puck is thrown wide in front of the net. Jones off the boards to center ice. Green having trouble getting control of it. Given away for Bourque, and his shot blocked by Green. Bourque got back his rebound, and the puck off to the corner. Left side of Peters. Under a minute to play in the period. Mike Green, an all-star previously. Puck flipped in. That shot pulled back in by Pekka Rinne. Curtis Glencross held out on the backside of the goal by Paul Gosted.
Key tonight have been turnovers. Nashville has done a fantastic job of turning pucks over. Look at the hunt in Taylor Beck. Great job. Turns it over. Key block by the Caps. But Beck turns it over, filters back to Gabby Bourque. Bourque with a terrific bit and a follow-up opportunity as well.
Kuznetsov against Fisher. Ekholm wraps it down that wall, and the hybrid icing will come back to bite Nashville. The face-off returns to the Nashville end. Just under 38 seconds, 39 seconds to go in the period.
Versus Montreal just a couple of games back. Colin Wilson with his 100th assist. He's plus 21 on the year. That puts him in top 15 competition in the NHL. And most notably for Colin Wilson, 20th goal not that long ago, his first 20-goal season.
On the face-off, cutting over to his right side and taking it out, Ekholm. Stallberg in pursuit in the corner. Off the wall. Backstrom. Carlson now. And Backstrom slides it up the left side. Knocking that puck down and sliding it in. John Carlson. Fed back for Carlson. His shot wide of the net. And this one comes back. Impetus provided all the way by the Capitals. 3 seconds remaining in the first period. And they'll let the time run out. And they get a chorus of boos as they leave the ice. Coming up in our first intermission, the Predators in front of this one. 3-0. Our Mercedes-Benz of Nashville intermission interview. We'll be talking to the Predators players. What it's like playing in Bridgestone Arena when the bowl is full of gold. Along with some highlights and stats for you. All that coming up beginning in just a few moments' time. Predators in the period outshot the Capitals 14-11.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
So ready to start second period action. I'm anticipating a get on them hard sort of start here from the Capitals. Let's see what eventuates out of all this.
Well, knowing Coach Trotz, the guys in the red jerseys caught an earful first intermission.
Brouwer could not hold on to that. Turning Kuznetsov. That one was blocked. And then Brouwer is able to get a bouncing puck and put it up and over Pecorine to put the Capitals on the board. 19 seconds into the second period. Precisely the sort of start the Capitals would be seeking.
Yeah, I'm not sure you could draw it all up any better than that. Puck run around by Pecorine. Fred's unable to clear. You see there, the attempted deflection. Brouwer does well. Collapses back to the net. Sensing the turnover. Terrific shot by him. Tough one to pick up. That's bouncing as it comes back to him. There you see again, the puck skipped up into the air, and then it's bouncing up off the ice as Brouwer takes a whack at it. His 19th draws him to within 1 of 20. Key goal for the Caps, if they have any aspirations at all to climb back into this one.
Predators, are they going to respond quickly to it? Chimera blocked Ekholm trying to bring it in. Tipped away from Wilson. Under the stick of Green. Green paired with Gleason. Wilson deflects it in. Played away from Fear. Here again, Forsberg. His shot blocked by Gleason that time. So Brouwer getting the goal that cuts the Preds lead to 2. Fed off there, and the try by Ribeiro is blocked. Offside, and the linesman drops the hand after the Predators tag up. So Brouwer's goal, assisted by Evgeny Kuznetsov and Matt Niskanen. As we have a stoppage here. Hey fans, right now purchase a lower bowl ticket for the game tomorrow against Calgary, a 4 p.m. start, and receive a ticket for the game Tuesday the 31st against Vancouver for free. That's up to a $95 value. This offer is good through to today's game only. Call 615-770-7800.
Plenty of great NHL action to take in before the end of the close of the 2014-15 season. Calgary Flames, Vancouver Canucks, and then Central Division competition, Dallas, Minnesota, come to the Bridgestone one more time before it's all said and done.
Quick shot by Santorelli wide. Volchenkov pinching down the board. Green for Gleason, and Gleason lobs it. Swatted away. Lada comes on, or rather Fear comes on, and that shot got through, but Rene prevented any rebound from squirting out there. Joel Ward was the first lurking in the immediate vicinity.
Ward and Rene having a little reacquaintance as Ward cycling down towards the front of the Nashville net. Spent 3 full seasons in Nashville as a Predator, 2008 through 2011. 98 points in the 230 games he played, and a key individual come the postseason. Watch him amp his game up once you get into extra time.
Rifled into the corner. Stopped there by Peters. Talk about a guy who hasn't had much chance to play the way Holtby has been. Puck turned over, and then the attempted return pass to the front of the net was broken up. That deflects off Josi. Glenn Cross went in, and the puck getting away from the point man, and this will be an icing call against Nashville. So here's what is coming up on the home schedule for the Predators. Calgary tomorrow, Seth Jones bobblehead, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Vancouver Canucks on Tuesday. It's a 2 for Tuesday, presented by Nissan. Saturday, it's a rally towel for you, presented by AT&T, the Dallas Stars in town. And the final home game of the regular year, Minnesota Wild, on April the 9th. Into the air it goes, and drilled back in by Matt Niskanen. Anticipating there Kuznetsov, that going to the left move of Rinne. But Bork could not hold, and taken away and passed quickly up to Brouwer. Brouwer drops back. Kuznetsov, and his shot deflected wide off of Predators coming back. Predators player coming back. Fisher. Wilson driving the middle. Shot was high. Ekholm the keep in. Fisher back to the net. Mike Fisher had Stolberg in front. Colin Wilson on the side. As the puck is taken by Kuznetsov out to center. He dumps it in off the end board as the Capitals get a change. 19 seconds into the second period. Brouwer fluttering a puck over a prone Pekka Rinne. Here now the puck is shoveled wide by Smith. And back to center ice to pick up that puck. Fading into the Nashville zone. It's Forsberg taking the out to Smith. Right side Ribeiro sweeps it for Smith in the corner. Forsberg comes over, and it was reached by Brooks Laich and cleared out to center. From the Predators bench area, given to Joel Ward. Fear driving down the middle. Ward holding on. That shot, Rinne never saw it coming. And Ribeiro there trying to slip it back to his goaltender, I do believe. Forsberg's pass blocked there by Gleason. Now Ovechkin on the collision with Volchenkov. To the point Gleason. And Gleason content to lob it low. On the Predators' defensive left. Off the wall. Forsberg takes it out. Goes off for a change as Gleason goes to the corner to pick it up for Washington. Green. Lindcross tried to make a play. It's Green who picks up the loose puck, but then flicked out for Beck. Nice play by Gaustad. Here's Beck with a shot, and that one deflected and hit off the pipe.
Oh my gosh, Taylor Beck with a quick little bid, and you're right, it gets deflected on the way through. Almost seemed to loop up over Justin Peters. Off the crossbar. Into the Capital zone. Little back and forth, exchanging chances at this stage of the second period. Jarnkrok goes after it, kept it away from Alex Ovechkin. Roman Josi away from Michael Lotta. Out from behind the net, Seth Jones for Josi. Josi came down the right side. Niskanen played it out. Jarnkrok takes it in. Jarnkrok a shot blocked. Swatted back down. Jarnkrok to Arvidsson. Bounced behind him. Ekholm came down the board to keep the play going. Picked up now. Arvidsson. Niskanen on him. Arvidsson on the left board. And there's going to be a penalty call coming up here against Washington. And holding is going to be the call at 5:43 of the second period. And it looks like Niskanen to take a seat. Matt Niskanen draws the minor penalty, and if you're a Nashville Predator, you don't mind that at all. Top 4 defender, he kills important minutes. He gets all tied up with Victor Arvidsson deep inside Washington defensive zone and draws the hooking minor in the process. Nashville again with a man advantage.
Their second Tennessee Lottery power play of this game. They did not get a shot first time. Ellis for Jones, return to Ellis. He tipped it right back, and now Ellis gets the return. To Smith it goes. His shot right in front was Ribeiro and tipped it high. Ribeiro, a backhand feed out, and it rolled away from Ellis.
I think Ellis, he's anticipating the play forward, took his eye off that puck for just a second and mishandled it. As a result, Preds are forced to regain the zone.
Ribeiro for Jones. Ellis in front, Colin Wilson. Ribeiro gets that hot rebound. Ellis again. The shot, and held by Peters off the left of his crease.
Victor Stahlberg left game action just a while ago. See him right here, kind of center of your screen. He's going to collide with a former teammate, Troy Brouwer. Those two come together. Stahlberg loses his helmet in the process, which you'll see Stahlberg evacuate the situation. We end up spotting him going down the tunnel and has not returned. We'll keep you posted.
Yossi looking as if he were going to shoot. Seen there with Franson. Gleason steps in before Forsberg can get there. Nick Backstrom comes out with it wide of Jason Chimera. Franson takes it across the line, then deals off, gets it back from Beck. Yossi with the try. Beck was reaching for a redirect on the back door. Cody Franson walking that line around Backstrom. And the try there goes high by Forsberg. 33 seconds remaining in the Nashville man advantage. As Chimera spinning on his knee and able to clear it.
One good look for Nashville. Yossi with a terrific pass puts Philip Forsberg in a good spot. Hard wrister from Forsberg. He misses wide, short side.
Puck left at center for Light. Shot by Brouwer. He scores. Now it's a one-goal game as the Predators give up a short-handed goal. Their fourth of the year.
Well, Troy Brouwer with his second on the night, 20th of the year, appears determined to turn this one around all by himself. Great play by Brooks Laich on the turnover, leads it over to Brouwer. Brouwer through Roman Yossi, but from well out. That's probably what fools Pecorine as it comes through the body, stick and legs of Roman Yossi. But I'll tell you, from that distance, that's one an NHL goaltender just simply has to have. Don't believe that one changed direction. If it did from well out.
So Brouwer with his 20th at 7:32. Predators get one shot on goal, but the Capitals got a big one shorthanded to pull within 3-2. And a shot with traffic in front provided by Smith. A little pushing and shoving ensues. We have a stoppage with 7:59 played in the second period. The Capitals have come back with two from Troy Brouwer, including that shorthanded marker. Predators led 3-0 after one. It's 3-2 now as we get to our timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet.
Well, if you know the Nashville Predators, you know that man, and you know he's an emotional guy. Matty Ekholm ties it all up, late action, power play opportunity, and then it's James Neal with the steal, and he deals it in behind Braden Holtby. That's late third period action, game-winning goal. Key one. Great victory for Nashville. Come behind effort.
Shots are 16 aside now. There's 2 shots in the period for Nashville and 5 for Washington. Green could not pick his way through center. Santorelli puts it inside. Green, and spinning off him And slow to get up after that is Arvidsson. Arvidsson goes right back to the bench.
Arvidsson puts himself in a difficult spot. Lunges, reaches, misses the puck-carrying Washington Capital and spills in the process.
Forsberg turns, his shot deflected. Volchenkov heads back out of the zone to defend. Rinne stops it. Right side, Craig Smith. And taken away from Ward by Forsberg. Forsberg turns against Orpik. Trying to step into that breach there was Ryan Ellis. Getting some assistance now from Smith. Freed it up. Ribeiro gets it back. A shot off the glove there of the goaltender Peters. And that next one goes trickling in, which he covers up.
Talked earlier about Victor Arvidsson and the spill he takes in behind. See there, he's a half step behind Mike Green as Green gains the back of the net, leaning in. He just catches a piece of the shoulder. Boy, goes down hard, does Victor Arvidsson. As you mentioned, straight to the Nashville bench, but there he remains and appears to be A-OK by all indications.
And Ståhlberg is out for this shift with Fisher and Wilson. The OC wide of the glove. And the pass comes ahead now for Matt Niskanen. Rolled it in. Lively bounce off the end board of Rinne. Backstrom with Ovechkin going down to the front. Glencross is out there as well. So line shifting here by Barry Trotz to start the second. Up the board left side. Niskanen. Back for Backstrom. And Backstrom and Ovechkin trying to deflect in front. Now Ovechkin comes out from behind the net in the corner. Seth Jones tried to pitchfork it away from him. Niskanen knocking it down. Ovechkin keeps it in. Crowds applauding that pressure, and this will be an icing call on Nashville. So they realize time to relax.
Folks, Atlanta Braves opening day is right around the corner. Monday, April 6th. Watch your Atlanta Braves as they face the Miami Marlins in the first game of the regular season. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Central on Monday, April 6th. It's Braves opening day only on Sports South.
So a week from Monday. Face-off will be to the left of Pekka Rinne. Michael Lotta, another one of those ex-Predators here in the lineup. Against Mike Fisher. Face-off one back to Green, teeing off. Rinne had no chance of seeing that, so the puck, luckily for Rinne and the Predators, was offline.
A massive traffic between Green and Rinne as he unloads. Green does.
Green again. Wilson goes over after. Lotta on the right corner. Green comes back. And from the high slot, Wilson's shot blocked. And the Predators' Wilson. Colin comes away with the puck and dumps it in.
Key play, defensive play by Victor Ståhlberg. Fronts the attacking Washington Capital. Makes a great block. Reds are able to gain the offensive zone and reset 5 skaters.
Green sweeps it around to the left corner. Chimera wanted to center it. Cody Franson there right away. Taken up the board by Tom Wilson for Washington. Wilson steps there into Bourque. Orpik, and his pass came out across the line. Offside the Capitals as they gun the puck back in. Orpik stops it in front of the Predators bench. And now the Capitals will be called for icing with 11:30 gone in the second. Capitals a bounce-back second period, now down just 1.
Brooks Orpik with a quick little up. He's trying to keep the Preds, who have just been a healthy length of time inside their defensive zone, trying to transition right back the other way, out of reach to the intended receiver. For that reason, Caps come all the way back.
On the side of the circle, Brouwer is doing everything he can to distract Philip Forsberg.
We've seen this. Philip got extra attention versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Paquette especially.
Puck drop. Forsberg cutting through the circle, gets the puck. Ribeiro back to the net. Kuznetsov pursuing him. Ribeiro, one hand on the stick. Puck comes back and just gently thrown toward the net by Ellis and stopped there by Peters. 8:17 remains in the second. Predators 3, Capitals 2.
Welcome back. The Predators leading the Capitals right now 3-2, and I'm down on the bench with assistant coach Kevin McCarthy. Coach, lots of offense early. What have you liked out of your team throughout this game offensively?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we're managing the puck really well. I mean, we're doing a real good job of putting the pucks in areas where we can get it back. I think our net presence has been really good, and we're shooting the puck every opportunity we have. And I think in the first period especially, we got rewarded for it.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Face-off in the Capitals' end. Puck put up the wall. Volchenkov trying to get it back to the corner. Forsberg turning there on Orpik. Forsberg comes away with the puck. A backhander and the score! And the Predators get one back here in the second at 11:56 to take a 4-2 lead. Right off the face-off, the Predators. Forsberg steals the puck away, and then watch it all unfold.
Watch the turnover by Forsberg. It's going to transition back to the other corner. Craig Smith chips it in there. Now watch Forsberg go to work. Rolls off the attacking player, defending player, and then is able to filter it into the net. Look at that. Just pulls it out of the pile, and then on his backhand finds Ribeiro. What a terrific individual play by Philip Forsberg, and a great finish by Ribeiro. He knows his line mate well, goes to the net, catches the pass. Nice little redirect by Ribeiro. Wow.
It was important for the Predators to have an answer here in the second period.
Well, and yeah, since the second Washington goal, Brouwer's second goal, Preds have actually responded in a pretty significant way. That's the first statistical proof you've seen of that, but it's been a handful of shifts that they've really strung together and started to press the pace in the offensive zone. But gosh, Philip Forsberg, what a great play. Coming out of a battle for a loose puck to find Ribeiro.
Yarncroke along with Lada on the right side, tipped by Wilson. Arvidsson was faking and then was forced to pass the puck away by Niskanen from center ice. Wilson carries in. Got deflected wide. Chimera, the blue line. In the corner. Carnage down there. There's the puck backhanded in by Santorelli. The Predators change their defensive tandem. Yossi out with Seth Jones now. Niskanen around the wall, stopped by Rene. And rather than passing left, he lets Yossi come by and carry up. Yossi follows up back of the net. Gaustad to the trapezoid, bounced off Taylor back. Comes out to the line. Yossi to keep in and trying for redirect Beck. Beck for Bourque. Say that a few times. Here's Gaustad. Bouncing off the blade of his stick, Ovechkin. Ovechkin with Backstrom. Stopped outside the line. 6.5 to go in the second. 4-2 Nashville. Taken away now. Ovechkin tried to set up Glenn Cross. A glove was lost on the ice. Here's Gleason with the shot. Off the glass, came right out in front of Ovechkin. Tried to bunt that one home.
Crazy bounce. Fortunately, Washington unable to capitalize. That fooled Pecorine as it came from the back of the net, behind the back of the net.
Beck checked there by Green. And Gleason with the shot. Lively bounce off the end board. Puck not cleared out across to the right board. Turning with it. Beck was able to get it out of there. And Bourque tracks it down. Beck coming on to join him. And Bourque with the shot. Wide angle rebound comes off. And a follow-up shot by Ellis goes wide to the short side.
Great job. Gabby Bourque collects that puck after being chipped by Taylor Beck. Did from the outside. Peters with a great left pad save.
Good job by the Predators that keep in at the blue line. And here the Capitals are able to clear into an icing call as we look again at Ribeiro's second goal on this trip.
And what I want everybody to focus on is Philip Forsberg right there. Stop it, guys. Right there, middle of your screen. And watch the job he does coming out of that battle with Brooks Orpik. Peels towards the middle, loads up the backhand pass, and just rifles it through traffic to find Mike Ribeiro. Wow. That is a strong play to win the battle. That is a highly precise play.
Capitals took a timeout here at 14:42. Again, to remind you, Calgary Flames in Nashville awaiting tomorrow afternoon's 4 o'clock start against the Predators at Bridgestone Arena. Hope you'll join us. All fans will receive a Seth Jones bobblehead, that presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield, and at 4 p.m. puck drop. Mark that down on your calendar at Bridgestone Arena. For tickets, it's NashvillePredators.com or 615-770-7800. And as the third period comes to you, you're going to hear about even more deals. You want to talk about deals? We've got them for you.
Here's a guy that's been dealing all year long. Points by rookies. Well, that's your season leader. He has retaken the lead from Johnny Gaudreau of Calgary. 59 points on the leader. Sorry, on the year. Philip Forsberg.
We could see that head-to-head tomorrow, couldn't we?
The head-to-head race for the top spot. The rookie scoring. I tell you, Gaudreau started slow.
Yes.
First handful of games, perhaps 10 games, a little slow out of the gate, but give him his credit where it's due. He's really had an exceptional push. Been an important contributor to the Calgary Flames.
Spinning shot kicked away by Rinne as he got, well, let's just say, a little discombobulated in front of the net thanks to Brooks Laich.
And I think Brooks Laich gets a piece of that puck, a redirect as it's been thrown at the net. Rinne still manages the left pad save to keep it out of the back of the net.
Capitals trying to use their number one attribute, and that is their size. Ekholm up the left side. Looking at Arvidsson was Carlson. And now Arvidsson released, but knocked down Carlson. And the puck rolled away from Glenn Cross and tapped out by Ribeiro. Glenn Cross again, Ovechkin. Fear, that shot deflects. Right in front for Glenn Cross, in too tight to get a good shot away. Excellent chance there for Washington. Nick Backstrom. Backstrom across the line. A try blocked as Backstrom essentially was working 1-on-4. Rinne stops it. Roman Josi starts it back. Josi around Backstrom, had been out for quite some shift. And there's a shot that pounded off the pad of goaltender Peters.
Terrific play by Josi to push it all the way into the Washington zone. Finds Taylor Beck. And Beck with a bid that's ultimately cut off before it gets to the net.
Back to the net, Seth Jones. Stepped around to avoid Lotta. Josi into the zone. Colin Wilson. That puck rolled off the toe of his stick, and now it's poked back out. Here's Lotta coming in with Seth Jones and Wilson. And then the pass behind the D-man and taking out Taylor Beck for Nashville.
Smart play by Taylor Beck. Uses the time and space that he has. Gains the center red. And then sends it all the way deep so that Nashville can reset 5 skaters.
Cody Franson and Rinne. Franson had to be there with Rinne well out of his net. Otherwise, the Capitals were going to get a great chance. Franson's pass ahead. And we have a real scrap going on behind the play as the Predators come up ice. And now they're going to blow the whistle as the Predators would have a scoring chance. Wilson down there, the leading scrapper on the Capitals, in conversation with Mattias Ekholm.
Wilson and Ekholm get all tangled up. A scoring chance in around the Nashville net.
So this happening at 17:48. We will be back with more from the Verizon Center in Washington. Predators up 2.
Here's play as we go to break. This is where the minor penalties result. Wilson, Matty Ekholm down low in a battle for a loose puck. Ekholm hard on Wilson initially and seems to get his stick kind of tangled up. He's lost his stick. The two fall. There you see the tail end of this little altercation between Wilson, Ekholm, and Pecorine involved and all that as well. But offsetting minor penalties, Wilson and Matthias Ekholm, so we'll get 4-on-4.
Well, there's an extra penalty up on the board for Kuznetsov. So Predators are going to have a power play here out of all that.
Fair enough.
Not too clear.
The Capitals go on the American penalty kill.
Ekholm, Wilson,
penalty number 1
and an extra.
2 minutes for roughing. Capitals penalty number 43, Tom Wilson. 2 minutes for holding. 2 minutes for roughing.
So a double minor, holding and roughing on Wilson. Kuznetsov serving one.
Exactly right.
2 minutes for roughing.
And I think, too, that's where you initially saw those two come together, Ekholm and Wilson.
17:48.
The initial infraction and what actually starts off the roughing altercation was the hold by Wilson. He's flagged for it, thus the Predators' 5-on-4 advantage.
Predators' third Tennessee Lottery power play of the afternoon. They lead the game 4-2. And there's another penalty called here on the faceoff. As they take a look at John Carlson. And Beck is going to take a seat. High sticking on Beck.
Check the left of your screen. Taylor Beck comes together as that puck is won. That battle for the loose puck off the draw is won out to the left side. He closes on Carlson and inadvertently gets his stick up over the shoulder pads of Carlson to negate the man advantage for Nashville.
So 4-on-4.
We eventually got to 4-on-4.
Yeah. 20 seconds of man advantage for Nashville. Forsberg fakes going on Backstrom.
Forsberg needs support there. Rides fishing.
Yeah. Carlson was able to pull that puck out of that scrum. Across it comes, rolled underneath the stick of Josi. Bouncing off the shin of Forsberg. Josi holds the puck, sweeps a shot deflected wide by Ovechkin. Carlson tried to put it on the boards. Forsberg blocked it. Orpik comes over to pull the puck away. They get it around Ribeiro. Here's Ovechkin motoring into the Nashville zone. As that puck is put on net, it was almost pulled cleanly away from him from behind. And now Ovechkin to the ice. Josi is going to be penalized. And they're going to call embellishment as well on Alex Ovechkin. And I'm glad to see that.
So here's the initial entry by Alex Ovechkin. And a pretty good bid by Ovechkin. He's out at the end of his reach, dives, tries to get it, not strong on the net. And then Josi is looking for that loose puck. Ovechkin is upended in the process. You may struggle with the logic on that. Why call the embellishment if he was stripped? And the way the NHL, the way the league will rationalize this, and I would agree in this instance, yes, Ovechkin was stripped, but he didn't need to dive in the fashion that he dove, the way that he dove.
And quite frankly, I'd rather have him going back after possession on what would have been a broken play in the zone. So the penalty box is well populated. Cody Franson turns. Calle Jarnkrok on the right board. 40 seconds remaining in the period. Moved back, and that shot going to the front of the net there is Ryan Ellis. They're expressing their displeasure with the officiating. Head back to the Bridgestone Arena on Tuesday as the Preds take on the Vancouver Canucks. Nissan Super Tuesday received 2 lower-level tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and a Preds car plan for $99. But drops at 7 o'clock Tuesday night, Bridgestone Arena. Go to NashvillePredators.com or 615-770-7800. But that's on Tuesday. Tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock, it's the Calgary Flames in town at Bridgestone Arena. Get your Seth Jones bobbleheads.
Oh, good draw, Gostad.
And the shot, the Capital got a stick on that, en route to the net. Washington, in 10 seconds, will have a 20-second power play. That's notwithstanding something else getting called. Down the boards, and the puck taken away by Ellis. And now the Capitals have a man advantage. Their third of the afternoon. They had scored shorthanded.
Solid defensive play. Cody Franson, he's responsible for Johansson on the attack. Franson turns it over.
And we have a whistle for an offside with under a second to go in the second period. In our second intermission, on thin ice with Jay and Dan. Lindsay will be chatting with assistant coach Phil Housley. We'll have highlights and stats. And the way this has been going the second period, maybe we'll have the tail of the tape, too. 7/10 of a second to go. Kuznetsov appealing to the linesman. And Gostad is tying everything up, and that's the end of the second period. Capitals outscore the Predators 2-1 in the second 20 minutes, but the Predators emerge with a 4-2 lead after 40. Troy Brouwer with those 2 goals to pull the Capitals within 1, including the shorthanded effort. Hey fans, purchase regular price tickets for tomorrow's 4 p.m. game against Calgary by the end of this third period and received an autographed Seth Jones bobblehead with your purchase. Right now, I want you to call 615-770-7800.
Operators standing by. Well, that one stands to be a doozy. I'll tell you what, Calgary waiting in Nashville as we speak, waiting for these Predators to arrive, play a 4 o'clock start tomorrow night. That's a motivated group. Their playoff hopes hang in the balance.
And they've been one of the best stories in the league all year. No one anticipated this from them.
They really have been. I'll tell you, key in all this has been defender Mark Giordano. Giordano goes down. They continue to be part of the discussion.
Yes. So time has run out now on that Capitals power play. As the puck is carried in by Johansson, right board to the net goes Brouwer, coming in late, Niskanen, and there's the shot by Green. Now the net got dislodged a bit, but they are boarding in there. The goal counts, and the Capitals are pulled within 20 seconds into the period. They scored 19 seconds into the second period.
I was going to say, does this feel like a familiar start to a period to you? It's about the very same. You can tell they come out with all kinds of pace. The Capitals do. Cycle right down into the Nashville end. Outlet pass to Green. He's on his off-wing side, and he simply just pounds it home. And I believe it just kind of leaks underneath Pekka Rinne. Rinne having to cycle from his left to his right to front that puck. And it just gets by Pekka Rinne. Brings the Washington Capitals back to within a goal. 110th career goal for Mike Green.
They are going for video review on the headset down at the scoreboard or the timekeeper's bench. So reviewing this, we had mentioned the net had been at least rattled around a little bit. You take a look along with us.
Yeah, Matty Ekholm gets tangled up with an attacking Backstrom for the Capitals. You can see there, those two come together. And I suspect what Toronto's trying to determine in conjunction with the on-ice's officials is, did that net become dislodged prior to the goal crossing the line?
So referee Eric Furlat is the man on the horn to the Situation Room in Toronto.
Clearly a reviewable situation. Rule 38 Toronto can be consulted, and we can have Toronto review if there's a question as to the net becoming dislodged.
Here's Furlat. So upheld, the ruling on the ice. So just awaiting the full read, but 20 seconds in, Green with his 7th to cut the Nashville lead to a goal.
Coach Laviolette looking for a personal explanation in all this. Certainly Coach Laviolette, with the assistance of video coordinator Lawrence Filoni, he'd have an idea of what Lawrence Filoni is seeing, and he'll be catching a cue from his support staff. There you see it. Clearly that net is on the move. It's rocking forward. Tough for us to tell whether it's become dislodged on the left coast side or not.
So Green with his 7th to cut the Predator lead to a single goal.
Interesting to know how the NHL defines net becoming dislodged, because that one, to me, it looked like it's clearly rocking forward. The back of the net is up off the ice, but it still appeared to be moored to the pegs. Is that dislodged? Is it not?
Yeah. So Niskanen and Johansson with the assist on the goal. Breaking in now, and Rene makes a game-saving stop right there. Karlsson breaking in through the right circle.
And right back after their 3rd goal, another great scoring chance, this time off the stick of Karlsson. Rene with a terrific glove save. Shuts down the short side. John Karlsson challenging Rene into the upper reaches.
One-goal game here in the 3rd period. Stolberg knocked back by Brouwer, the former Chicago teammates tangle again. Fisher scaled it to the line. They say it was held in. Kuznetsov to try. Taken by Ekholm. And that one going past Alzner, taking in Stolberg. Stolberg tried to pass it across for Colin Wilson. Fisher with the try, gets back to it. On his back end of the blue line, Ekholm, a blast, and that one is stopped by Peters, puts the paddle down, and some pushing and shoving ensues.
Well, puck turns over at the Nashville blue line. Alzner gambles and loses. Stolberg's able to collect that puck, send it back the other way. He's 2-on-1, heading back the other way, kind of gets jammed up, saw it off, trying to get it through Niskanen, can't get it to go. But Fisher ultimately collects it, lays it back to the left point side, and that's where it all gets going, just in terms of the raw scoring chance for Nashville.
So the minute 28 gone in the period. Josi for Nashville. Ovechkin for Washington step out of the penalty box and into the play. Backstrom carries. Lagging back a bit. Arvidsson comes out with it. Arvidsson shot, missing the net. Going after the rebound, Jarnkrok and Forsberg. Tipped by Glenn Cross. And Arvidsson stops it by the Capitals bench. Ovechkin pries it away. His blast off the right pad of Rene. Josi carries in. Tough angle, threw it across in front of the net. Jarnkrok couldn't get there. Arvidsson had tried, deflected off Santorelli.
Great play off the carry by Roman Josi. Takes it the length of the ice, deep into Washington territory. And then a great feed right through the paint, just out of reach.
Back of the net. Coming out to the right side. Try there by Karlsson, goes wide on the feed from Chimera. Karlsson a wrister that time. Deflected up. Forsberg's pass finds its way onto the stick of Smith. Ribeiro thinking of dropping it. Instead it was Ribeiro who indeed got dropped.
Boy, did he ever.
Taken back by Smith. Slipped it past Ribeiro, who had just recovered, to come back into the play. Shea Weber not in the lineup for Nashville today. A lower body injury. Anton Volchenkov returns. Bourque curling back. Ribeiro tried to thread one through. Ekholm held it for just a moment. Brouwer rifled a pass into the skates there of Lotta. Johansson couldn't hold. Spun around at the line was Gabriel Bourque.
Good read by Cody Franson. Stands up initially, gets Nashville going back the other way, but it ultimately turns over again.
Onto the left wall. Bourque. Rostad couldn't quite get there, and now the Capitals with the puck on their stick. Through to Johansson. That bounced away from him to Gaustad, and Gaustad will lob it in and go off for a change. Gleason and Colin Wilson. Johansson left side for the Capitals. Changes the flow of that play. Boy, strange bounce on that. Glencross couldn't get it.
It really just died on the landing. Fortunately for Stolberg, he's coming back with a lot of pace, good back pressure. He collects it and is able to push it deep into the Washington zone.
And this will be icing. Glencross from behind center red.
Well, Preds fans, if you haven't purchased regular price tickets for tomorrow's 4 p.m. game against Calgary, by the end of the third period today and receive an autographed Seth Jones bobblehead with your purchase. Call 615-770-7800 right now. And remember, that's a special 4 p.m. start versus the Calgary Flames.
To the left side of Peters. Backstrom versus Gaustad. Gaustad almost trying to win it with the top of his stick there as he turned around. Ovechkin comes out. Glencross trying to get to Backstrom, but Backstrom's stick was being held up there by Seth Jones. As we have a whistle here. 4:25 gone in the third period. Predators 4. Capitals 3.
Reds are taking the odd man chance back the other way. Watch the job that Seth Jones does. There he is right in the center of your screen under the stick of Backstrom as that puck is filtered in to Backstrom to take away the scoring chance. Great defensive work by sophomore number 3.
Backstrom tried to go straight to the net with the drop, and a pass intended for Ovechkin broken up by Ekholm, and this now tapped in by Taylor Beck. Gleason, the Backstrom pass over to Green. Green, a great offensive defenseman, slowing down in recent times. Beck. Ovechkin back of the net. Ovechkin and Ellis, they cross, and Ellis ends up with the puck, which he carries out and dumps in. Back of the net, Predators trying to break up this Capitals breakout. The long out for Light. Joel Ward backhanded but not in. Arvidsson comes away. His pass right to Joel Ward. Ward comes in. Down the side fair. Wide to the short side. In the corner, Karlsson pulled away from him. Stopped by Orpik. And there's a shot knocked down en route to the net. It was taken by Fair. Fair blocks an attempted clear, and it comes up to Mike Santorelli. Santorelli joined by Jarnkrok. Jarnkrok to the front of the net. Santorelli keeps it in deep. Ekholm left half court. Philip Forsberg comes out of that corner. Ekholm looking. Here's Cody Franson. The shot, rebound given up in front, a big juicy one. Back now for Ekholm. That shot deflected to the corner.
Great block by Joel Ward on the Matty Ekholm bid.
Spun low by Santorelli. Out of that corner. Ribeiro, Franson a shot off the glove there of Peters. Forsberg picks up that rebound. Franson returns left side. Ekholm the shot blocked to the corner. Trying to get over after it there. Orpik had the Predator forward all tied up, and this will be an icing on Washington with 6:38.
Good answer by the Preds. Good action in the offensive zone. Want to show you there's been a real surge by the Washington Capitals. Terrific job right here. Watch Ryan Ellis. He's going to pick up Alex Ovechkin as that puck cycles in behind the net. Now watch the job that Ellis does right here. Great read. Little chip to himself with one hand as Ovechkin lays it off. And that gets the Nashville crew heading back the other way. Smaller in stature is Ryan Ellis, but he sure makes up for it. In great anticipation, uses his body very effectively.
Tremendous smarts. they say the big hockey IQ. And this will be yet another icing against the Capitals. Hey, join us in Smashville. Fan Appreciation Night will be Thursday, April 9th, when the Predators face off against the Minnesota Wild. All fans there that game will receive a gold hat, courtesy of Farm Bureau Insurance, and can enter to win a shirt right off a player's back. Puck drops at 7 tonight at Bridgestone Arena. Go to NashvillePredators.com or 615-770-7800. They'll drop that puck again to the right side of Justin Peters. Every possession becomes very big in a game like this right now. Capitals got the draw. Fisher the keep in to an open right side. Jones comes over to put it behind the net.
Smart play by Fisher. You see that? He just outlets it to a soft area, an open area, knowing that he can't press it down. He's pulled up just under the opposition blue. Good read by Fisher.
Looks like decides to dump it to the corner because Kuznetsov there. He's back in the net in a battle with Mike Fisher. The 18,000 plus here trying to help the guys in the striped shirts with their job today. Seth Jones fires that in. Arvidsson left board, reaching for it. Jarnkrok took a whack at it as well. Niskanen turned around. Jarnkrok got involved, and now Troy Brouwer, who has 2 of the Capitals' goals here today. Up on the end glass. Left wing side, Johansson clears. Santorelli back for Nashville. Kuznetsov right on him. Up the left side, Volchenkov, and then flipped out of there by Arvidsson. Quick pass to center. Kuznetsov deals it back to the D-man. Mike Green, who has the goal here in the period to cut the Predator lead to 4-3. Green trying to cut through center. Predators get it. Mattias Ekholm. Capitals lined up almost perfectly. You can see in the 1-2-2. Tipped in by Beck. Held up by Peters. Stepping around Ovechkin to get the puck and kicking that away was Gostad. Cody Franson puts it deep again. Beck in the corner. Beck holds on. Turns. Rolls it low again. Spun around like a top in the blue ice was Gabriel Bourque. Ovechkin in pursuit. Franson puts the puck on the board. Glenncross held it for a moment. Greg Smith, 1-on-3, the shot off the pad there of the goalie.
Terrific little underneath play by Ribeiro to Ekholm to ultimately get it to Smith. Create that chance for Nashville.
Backstrom with Ovechkin in the front of the net, and the puck poked out. And just getting there in time was Orpik to prevent a great break. A great chance for Philip Forsberg. Taken away by Niskanen. He's bothered all the way by Smith. Forsberg comes over also. Chimera can't get it out. Philip Forsberg trying to go to the front of the net. And the puck is thrown off the boards by Niskanen to center. Seth Jones comes back down the side. His pass, however, goes behind Mike Fisher. Capitals back on the attack. Lotta drops off. Chimera, a shot wide of the net. And Carlson with a try from the right point goes wide. And we have a whistle here for playing the puck with a high stick. 10:02 gone in the third period. Predators leading the Central Division within 1 point of first overall in the Western Conference. Going against a Calgary Flames team tomorrow, trying to push themselves into the playoffs as well. And talking about a playoff push, Predators playoff tickets went on sale this morning at all Middle Tennessee Kroger outlets. Tomorrow, they go on sale at Bridgestone Arena at noon. So come on down early. Get ready for that 4 o'clock game with the Calgary Flames. Get your playoff tickets. If you're not able to make it downtown, Monday online at Ticketmaster.com. And that begins at 10 a.m. Central Time.
You've got options. You've got options. If you want playoff tickets, you've got options. No better option than just coming right down to the Bridgestone. Watch the game tomorrow and pick up your playoff seats.
That was a pretty close race for the hybrid icing.
Certainly was. Colin Wilson with a good head of steam. This is a guy when on his game comes with a lot of pace. Great skater, strong skater, uses his body to protect the puck. exceptionally well, enjoying his first ever 20-goal season.
Brouwer with 2 goals this afternoon, poised on the left board. Predators get the draw. Mike Fisher with a big face-off win in the D zone. Josi slides it in. Onto the wall for Niskanen. And the long pass to Brouwer. Brouwer turning in left side. Kuznetsov could not get the puck, and it comes ahead now for Mike Fisher. Fisher with Gleason. To the corner. Swept back. Oh! And unloading there on Volchenkov. What a hit there by Brouwer.
Solid ride by Brouwer. Volchenkov doesn't see it coming, and he's vulnerable because the puck is cycled back to him. He's actually faced away from the inside of the ice, and that's when Brouwer chooses to strike. Buries Volchenkov, but credit Volchenkov, still makes the play to keep the puck in deep.
And responded to get back in the play to dump it behind the Washington net again. Trying to step his way through center there was Backstrom. Into the Nashville zone it goes. Rene stretches out, and then he, by stretching out, got himself spun around a little bit dangerously. To center where Arvidsson picks off. Arvidsson is shot, blocked, and Arvidsson got dumped big time by Brooks Orpik. And Brooks Orpik is, well, that's the way he plays the game. He'll give you a real rocking.
Bit of a size mismatch there. Orpik 2 1/4 or better. Victor Arvidsson 5'9".
Ovechkin waiting and decides to dump it in. Ovechkin goes off of the change. That popped up in the air. Gostev locates it. Flips it out. And this will be an icing against Nashville with 7:51 remaining in regulation.
Give you a chance to look at that Volchenkov play we were discussing. There you see Volchenkov forced to play that puck. Not reading, not recognizing that Brouwer's closing from the inside, and then there's Orpik on Arvidsson as Arvidsson is directing it towards the Washington net. Orpik stands up in a very affirmative way.
Off the faceoff, Josi. Niskanen knocks down. In ahead of Wilson. Taking it behind the net, Seth Jones. And the whistle, which not too many seem to have heard. 12:18 gone. We are in the third period, and the Predators holding on to a 1-goal lead. Preds fans rocking gold here at the Verizon Center. Nashville up 4-3, 7:42 left. In the third period, we're joined from the bench by goaltender Carter Hutton. Carter, the board's been loosened up sufficiently around you this afternoon?
Yeah, a little bit. But, you know, it's just one of those things here, this game. You know, I think we get a couple early there, and, you know, giving up those early goals in the period is something we don't want to trend happen too often, that's for sure.
Hey, Carter, probably the case that Washington's playing some of its best hockey of the game here in the third period. What are some of the key points being made by the coaching staff as best you can tell?
You know, I think the biggest thing for us right now with the lead is we don't want to get away from what we do best, right? We want to get pucks in and go to work. We want to play safe, but turnovers at the far blue line is something that we can't have. We got to get pucks in, especially with a couple of young guys in the lineup, make sure that we get it in and go to work.
We're glad for having you, Carter. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
A little bit like that play right there is the kind of action Carter's talking about. Nice little chip by Stolberg to get the Preds deep into Washington territory.
Stolberg got it back somehow or another as he got it back to the point. Cycling out of the corner, Fisher. He goes back to the right point. Backhanded out. Johansson. Tipped over right wing side, given to Backstrom, knifing in. His shot was blocked. Rebound comes over. Picked up now by Glenn Cross, and he tried to center, and Fisher prevented that.
Great job by Stolberg again. Solid shift, key shift. That's a closing shift by Stolberg, winning his battles for loose pucks and putting pucks into smart spots. No smarter spot than that one right there, 200 feet from your net.
It was slowed down by Rene for Volchenkov as Bork was literally run over by a truck named Ovechkin.
The license plates on that truck read 8.
Yeah, that's it. Shot wide by Brouwer, bidding for his third. Flipped into the Predators' bench area with 13:48 gone. Head back to Bridgestone Arena Tuesday night. Preds take on the Vancouver Canucks. It's a Nissan 2 for Tuesday. Receive 2 lower-level tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and a Preds car flag for $99. Puck drops at 7 o'clock Tuesday at Bridgestone Arena. Go to NashvillePredators.com or call 615-770-7800. That after tomorrow afternoon's 4 o'clock match with the Calgary Flames. To the left of Pekka Rinne, this draw. Kuznetsov, and the puck is won back by Gaustad. Strange bounce turning there. Kuznetsov, the shot deflected away high. Out over the shoulder of Beck. Green prevented him from breaking in. Then Gaustad chips in for Nashville. Bourque and Beck back to the Nashville bench. Evgeny Kuznetsov down the left side, trying to dance there around Jones, but could not get a shot. Green, tough angle. He has Ovechkin right in front. Struggle there, Ovechkin and Jones. Kuznetsov comes over on the right board. Turns it down for Green, the one-timer, and a glove save made by Pekka Rinne with 14:33 gone in the third. Predators still leading this one by a goal. Pekka Rinne, earlier Rob Carlson, that time Green. Preds up by 1. This afternoon's performance moment brought to you by Bridgestone. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion.
Great play. Philip Forsberg uses body to protect the puck. Strips Orpik, wheels it in on the backhand to Mike Ribeiro. And Ribeiro just simply has to cradle that, redirect it to the far corner. Beats Justin Peters.
Shot right on, and Rinne covers up.
Set play right off the draw. Draw one back. Backstrom. Key face-off play. Ovechkin grabs it. 2 strides along the tops of the circles and just pounds it at the Nashville net. Good decision by Rinne to smother up and force the face-off. Settle it all down.
Yeah, particularly with that group out there. Blue line, Gleason, right side, Green, blocked, and out across the blue line it goes. Backstrom waited for his teammates to get back onside as Glenncross tried to center but went out too high with that. Bourque sending it in. Beck goes to the corner against Green. Backstrom comes over to help. Here's Alex Ovechkin with 4:54 remaining. Preds lead it 4-3. Rinne to his left. Shoveled up for Bourque. He takes it out. And he was challenged there by Glenncross, and now Glenncross goes off for the change. Brooks Orpik. Just flipped in. Ekholm has the chance for a soft deflection off the boards.
Good play by Matty Ekholm to get up on the line. Close gap on Joel Ward. Create that turnover to allow Nashville to clear.
Smith cleared it into the bench area there, stopping the clock with 4:18 remaining.
The Predators look for 2 crucial points versus a Central Division rival on Saturday, April the 4th, when the Dallas Stars come to town. All fans in attendance will receive a rally towel, courtesy of AT&T. The puck drops at 7 p.m. at Bridgestone Arena. For tickets, visit NashvillePredators.com or call 615-770-7800.
Predators are questioning, I think, that whistle. They thought it might have gone off the glass report where the between the benches reporters stand here in Washington. Face off to the left of Pekka Rinne. Capitals down a goal. 4-3, 4:18 left in the third period. Carlson overskated the puck initially. Got back to it. Orpik pinches down the left side. Joel Ward for Light. And Carlson a shot clutched against the chest by Rinne. And Volchenkov defending his goaltender's honor.
Yeah, puck thrown at the net from the right point side. John Carlson, yet again, he continues to pound away from that spot. All kinds of red jerseys in and around the blue paint underneath Pekka Rinne, and as you say, Volchenkov standing his ground. Some of the best hockey, some of the most persistent hockey we've seen from these Capitals has come in the third period. Plenty to play for. Game still on the line.
To the left of Rinne, Josi. And that goes into the Predators bench. Exactly 4 minutes remaining now in the third period.
It was interesting talking with Coach Trotz earlier today, Pete, you and I. You know, he talks about, hey, we're just trying to stabilize, ensure that we make the playoffs, but too, keeping an eye on the fact that Washington, given its current position, can still climb into the 3, perhaps 2 spot Metropolitan Division.
They were starting to celebrate. They thought that shot by Carlson was going to find its way behind Pekka Rinne.
He is just murdering from out there. John Carlson is shot after shot.
Fisher in the corner. Supported there, Colin Wilson. Wilson knows to keep it deep. Sent back by Fair. And Stallberg got knocked down the ice. And Fair with Light. Light had stayed on side, and Rinne is going to cover up with Joel Ward swooping in for a try.
Saw earlier a chance inside the Pred zone thrown at the net by Carlson from the right point side. Looks like gets in to help on the draw. Looks like Light gets a piece of it. He's in close proximity, but it hits the outside of the net, and that's what gets the folks in that side of the building all excited.
Gaustad and Backstrom. The game could well end like that. He's on faceoffs. Paul Gaustad is the man out there. Predators take it back again. Josi lobbed it. Seth Jones flips it into the Capitals' end. Niskanen hit hard against the wall there by Gaustad. Capitals coming out. Stallberg stepped up. Josi, and that deflects in off Gaustad. Curtis Glencross has the puck taken in by Green. Drop back for Ovechkin. Ovechkin wants to get that shot away, but he's taken against the sideboard, and the puck flipped out through center. And a little scrap going on as the puck went back to the Capital zone.
Ryan Ellis has just done a terrific job on Ovechkin tonight. There, too, another 4-on-3 opportunity. Ryan Ellis steps up. He's responsible for Ovechkin. Terrific play.
Puck tapped in, delayed offside, and now whistled down with Ovechkin there with Volchenkov.
Here's the 4-on-3 I mentioned. Watch how Ellis steps up. He'll claim Ovechkin. There's a drop pass back to him. Great read. Declares he's got him. Reaches inside. And then just a little chip. Is able to knock that puck off the stick right there of Ovechkin. That is just smart hockey. And then pivots, uses his body to keep Ovechkin on the outside. Not before absorbing a stiff shot in the back of the head from number 8 for the Capitals.
2 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the third period. There's been one goal in the period. That came 20 seconds into the period on the shot by Mike Green. Green slowed down that attempted dump into the Capital zone. Flipped by Seth Jones. Jarnkrok checked by Light. And swept into the zone by Green. Rinne stops. Goes up the left board with it. Tipped to the line and not out. Joel Ward from the right side. Fired it, and that Pekka Rinne wasn't sure where it went. Green another try, and that deflected up into the mesh. Let's give you our game summary for those of you on an early Saturday start. You may have been in, out, and back in again.
A pretty dynamic start for the Preds. 3 in a single period. 3-0 as that period closes out. Clubs trade goals. 2 for the Caps, 1 for Nashville, and we've got goaltender pulled here. 1:43 remaining. Justin Peters comes out in favor of the extra attacker. Give me an opportunity to make this point as well. With Washington's 3rd goal, Justin Peters becomes the goaltender of record in this. Remember, Braden Holtby pulled in first period action.
And we have indication for a timeout. Predators are taking it. Capitals took theirs in the second.
Yeah, and one well spent. I think the extra attacker catches you by surprise a little bit. Fairly aggressive play by Coach Trotz to get his keeper out. 1:43 remaining. But probably a wise decision by Coach Trotz with offensive possession, or at least offensive position, inside the Nashville zone. And this will give Coach Housley an opportunity to go over exactly what he wants to see, just in terms of how Nashville fronts the 6-on-5 advantage here with 1:43 remaining in regulation play.
So Seth Jones will be out for this draw. It's his bobblehead giveaway tomorrow at 4 o'clock with the Calgary Flames in town. Thanks to Blue Cross Blue Shield Tennessee, you can complete your set of Predators bobbleheads from the 2014-2015 season. Paul Gaustad saying, yeah, I know I got to put my stick down. And he chopped out.
Gaustad's tossed. Gaustad's tossed. And I'll tell you, here's a key concern. Gaustad's been tossed. Key concern, you've just got one center out there. It's Bourque and it's Beck.
But then again,
credit Gabby Bourque and Seth Jones for jumping in to assist on the draw. Bourque just ties up. Jones jumps in. That allows you to win it back. Key face-off.
90 seconds remaining. Extra attacker on. The Capitals have pulled their goaltender. Rene with the stop. Up on the boards to the point. Carlson to Ovechkin, and that one was tipped high over the glove hand of Pekka Rinne.
Eyes on number 8, off wing side. He's going to want to pound away from over there.
Ovechkin again, stopped, rebound try, shoveled wide. Nick Backstrom with Seth Jones on him. Brouwer for Johansson. Under a minute to play. A shot blocked out through center.
What a block, Gabby Bourque. Terrific read on John Carlson. And as importantly, it goes deep.
Ovechkin picks it up himself off the wall. Comes out the other side. Trying to get it right in front for Brouwer. And Brouwer just knocked Seth Jones back into the Predators' goal. 35 seconds remain. Ovechkin on the back door. And the shot stopped by Rinne. Ovechkin has to go over after the rebound. Flips it back to the corner. Johansson. 25 seconds remain. To the blue line in green. Off the right wing side, Ovechkin back door again, 18 seconds. Trying to flip it through that direction. Johansson to Green. His one-timer blocked. To the corner it goes. Backhanded, chipped out, and that should do it. Slowly rolling back into the Capital zone, and that does indeed do it. The Predators congratulate Pekka Rinne as they hold on to win this game 4-3 this afternoon in Washington.
Heated competition in the dying seconds of the game. Preds in command. Preds up by a goal, but I'll tell you what, very much a questionable outcome right down to the end. The Washington Capitals, Carlson, Ovechkin throwing everything they had at the net, but some key penalty killing. Gabby Bourque, Seth Jones, and your goaltender. You're always looking to him to make a key save for you. Pekka Rinne's there also.
So the Predators hold on to win this one 4-3. They end up being outshot by the Capitals 28-27. And the Predators win it